And we're back. What a difference a week, or better yet, 2 weeks could do, people. Arsenal are top of the league for Christmas. Manchester United and Spurs obviously dropped points. Nice to see Chelsea also did the same thing. I don't look at the league table. There's a lot of football that's been played. There's a lot of football to play. But at the end of the day, we're top. We just need to keep going. It only matters. The only league positions that matter are game week 38 because, obviously you're either going to get relegated or win stuff, people. So, yeah, let's keep going. And just internally with Arsenal fans, everything isn't perfect. There's several things we need to improve. 1,000,000% is clear, but we've got a platform. It could be better, but it sure as hell could be a lot worse. So, yeah, smash the like button. Whether it's a penalty or not, it's nice to see Gyökeres just scoring some goals and things of that ilk. After this, people, we will be doing a watch along for the AFCON. We had a great one yesterday. Love to see you lot. I think we'll go live at like 4:50 because it's 5 p.m. kickoff. So yeah, we'll be there, man. DG best song intro in the game. Appreciate you, Chief, man. Appreciate you, JD. Appreciate you as well. As the man has said, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Robin Lintz, I see you in the cut. Stretford Elite, he's part of the platform, but owing to the name, he's clearly a Man United fan. So before I even read his comments, I know this is some sour verbal. Congrats on winning the top of the league at Christmas trophy. That's all right, man. There's plenty of trophies to go and give Ruben Scammer when he couldn't do that at Aston Villa. He's in steady free flow and he's breaking the wrong statistics for your football club. You're suffering injuries. Players are not having their form. Gassing up Lenny Euro looks out of sorts. We're even nice enough. We believe in you lot, because when you lot said you could beat everyone, despite when we played you, despite us getting 3 points, we said United, our little bros now. Go have heaven. And it looks like he's in hell. You lot were laughing about us losing at Aston Villa. What happened? You lot thought my enemies conspired and thought Everton away was go, oh, this is where it happens now. This is where City are going to be top and Arsenal are going to crumble. That might happen. There's a lot of football to be played. And I know how this Arsenal thing works. But you see, this week, focus. You should be on other YouTubers diagnosing why you lot lost. Why did you lose? Why did you lose? If you got greatest ever, then you're waxing lyrical about your goalie. Don't think I didn't. You lot always talk about my striker and his first touch and all of these things. Don't think I didn't see Sesko's performance. Don't think we never saw that first touch where he tried to go around the keeper. It's going out for a goal kick. He's even tried to pull it out for a throw. Please focus, man. Focus. I know it's all banks, but focus, man. You should not be even mentioned in Arsenal Football Club. You need to be focusing on Liverpool and them, man. You was ahead of them. Stay out of this. What's concerning my football club applies to City, applies to Villa, applies to Chelsea. Stay focused, man. Tranquillo, man. Kobe Maino, give Berta a call, man. We need someone to clean Miles Lewis Skelly's boots, man. It's all love, man. It's all love. And yeah, we will be watching AFCON after, man. Why are you not having your Igal weekly shows? I miss your debate. Shout out Igal, man. We're getting back on the platform. I just hasn't been done. Big up Igal, man. Big up Igal. Big up Igal. Do you know one thing that kills me with Igal? Yeah, and I guess for me, it is what it is, because I think I say that a lot, and you lot definitely let me know in the comments. Igal always, what's it Igal always says, and I clocked it watching his videos over the weekend. You want to know something? Yeah, man. Cooking United hard is peak out here. Bro, I'm not, you lot cooking yourselves, because that's a dish I'm not trying to eat. Red Devils losing on the Lord's Sunday. It's amazing, man. Don't worry, though, man. We're going to bring out the Premier League in May for everybody to see. You know what you say, what about my club? Nobody's come to the Emirates and won the league title over here. I know what we've done at Old Trafford. I know what we did at Shite Hart Lane. Fans older than me know what we did at Anfield. If the stars are aligning, all I will say is, Arsenal, we've got 4 opportunities of silverware, We need to be getting to the semi-finals and playing the 2-legged tie against Chelsea. Tomorrow, we need to do our job against Crystal Palace. I want the Premier League. I'll die for the Champions League. FA Cup is our silverware. You've got 4 opportunities. Don't let May or the season done and you lot are flying off for the World Cup. Don't let that happen without your name itched on some silverware. But that's neither here nor there, man. What I love to see, that they passed the ball through to Gyökeres way more, which showed they've been working on it. You know what? I don't want to keep going over the Everton game, because in truth, it is a nothing. Football is never a nothing game. There's plenty of things we could have done better. I've offered all of that in my reaction. But when I look back at the game now, just a quick little overview. The week did us well. We still look shattered. I'll be real. We look shattered. I do think Everton and David Moyes, I'm not complaining. I think they respected us a bit more. I don't feel the game that I thought we was going to go into, which I would say like Sunderland, Aston Villa, where it's end-to-end business. And I thought it was going to be the case under the lights at Goodison Park, or Forgive me, Everton fans. I don't know the name of the new stadium, but I thought that I think they respected us a bit too much. I think, you know, when we knock it side to side, and especially when we get a goal in any capacity, you're playing into our hands. I think the low kind of tempo. I know they're missing players, and obviously so are we. I think that played a hand of us. Compared to Wolves, obviously we got the 6 points in these two games, but compared to Wolves, I do think there was an improvement in the final third. There was better connections. We're creating slightly more opportunities. We're finding each other in the final third a bit more. As I said, that is me looking at Wolves and Everton. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. Passes are still over and under hit, and just in general, there's not enough quality on the final ball of late, people. But as I said, it was an improvement. We hit the post a couple times. Clearly, we could have scored more. We should have scored more. 1-0, I'll take it every time. Clean sheet, 3 points. Don't know about the Pagans. Them just ask Stretford Elite in the chat because his team never got 3 points. They conceded 2 goals. It's dark out there. But I know it's a famous chant with Arsenal, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Never quite confident. Not confident, that's not the right word, but never fully comfortable as a football fan with a 1-0 lead, isn't it, really and truly? But I'll take the 3 points. I have been critical on our away form. I wouldn't say it was our sparkling best, but I'm not liked what I've seen generally away from home. So anytime you get a clean sheet and 3 points, great. And it's building blocks, in it. Like, just build. It's a double-edged sword because as much as I need an improvement based on the Everton game, I need an improvement based on the Wolves game. And obviously, we know we need to get better. Every game's a must win. You'll take the 3 points every time. But I feel this kind of segment we're entering in, like December, end of January, I think it's just a 3 points business. Just need to stack them W's, man. City are not going away. Villa at the moment are not going away. Don't let Chelsea escape because, you know, they're all giddy when they drew with us. The Europe champions of the world, they're in the title race. We just need to keep going. It's as simple as that. I personally believe, and I said this is just a hot take with no real evidence, regardless of how the season pans out from now to the day and beyond, I think if we beat City finally at the Etihad, I think we'll win the league. If we don't, oof, I don't want to have those conversations. If Arteta wins the League Cup or FA Cup, do you keep him? He's staying regardless. I don't want to be that guy, yeah, but we're at a critical junction in Mikel Arteta's time at Arsenal Football Club. I know about the noise. I do think many an Arsenal fan, you know, I'd say balanced Arsenal fans, whether you always backed Arteta from the jump or, you know, he slowly convinced you, you're at that stage now. You're a good manager. You are a good manager. Tactics, you can hang with the best of them in the modern day. You know, you've made us competitive. I've not agreed with every decision, but you're good. If you left today, we're in a better state than when you took us over. But until you go and grab a Prem, a Champs, what would have helped you following on from the FA Cup win and the 2 English Super Cups, if you was bagging League Cups and FA Cups in the 3 years, excluding this year, in the 3 years, if we bagged some cups, obviously people still be asking about where's the majors and things, but I think you kind of quiet things down. A trophy's a trophy. That's what they said when Crystal Palace won, when Newcastle won silverware. I do think people will be disingenuous in May of 2026. Arteta, you need to get over the line. The boys as well, but you need to get over the line. You're a good coach. Are you a winning coach? And until you do that, it's great to beat Bayern Munich. It's great to, you know, be competitive again. It's great to beat Real Madrid. As I said, you know, Arteta has played some serious managers and beat them or had good game plans and things like that. You know, Luis Enrique, Pep Guardiola, flipping Carlo Ancelotti. The list goes on in it. So you're a good manager. But I only care about at my football club. Wenger is the most important man in Arsenal's history, potentially, give or take. He's up there with them names, right? We all know what he did at Highbury. But I say that to say this. Disregard Highbury and move it forward to the Emirates. We know what it was. We needed to pay off the stadium, remain competitive. We was under serious austerity. The club was fragmented and all of those things. So, you know, blood, sweat and tears of Wenger. We're now, the academy's booming. We've got peas to spend. It's not the toxic atmosphere. So there's that. Then they say, you know, what do they say? They say Wenger built the house and something about Arteta turning on the lights. You've turned on the lights. It's like Arsenal was a woman. And big up the galley out there. You could say men if that's what you want, or if, you know, support Man United. We're all inclusive if that's what you want to do. It's like a woman being in a toxic relationship. Yeah, this is how I look at Arsenal during the Emirates era, and she's pretty, 10 out of 10. You know, Kelly Rowland, whatever, Ashanti, whatever your celebrity crush has been in it. Picture them, but it's like if you don't tell her she's nice, you don't take her on dates, you don't get her nice things, you don't do what's it Gally love to say, and I do think it's BS. What's that thing girls say? Act of service and not act of service. My love language and all these buzzwords. If you don't do any of that, she's gonna forget she's beautiful. And I think that has been the case with Arsenal. We're a big club. No one can I'm not saying we're the biggest. No one can chat shit to me. This club is beautiful. It's the biggest in the world to me. We're up here. We're here, innit? We're here. We're here. We're the third biggest club in this land. It's simple as that. Only Liverpool and United can talk to us. Don't care what City and Chelsea and all them and there do. But that's not neither here nor there. Arteta's reminded the galley, yeah, she's pretty and whatnot. But are you the man before the man? Wenger's come, made sure we went through those tough steads, come out now. Now there's peace to spend, academies booming, all these kind of things. Could you imagine if we had to pay off the stadium now? That's happened. You've come in. You look through the squad. Because I do think, yeah, Arsenal fans will disagree. Arsenal fans love to fight themselves, myself included. We'll argue over players, Arteta. There's bare arguments. The one thing they'll probably agree on is, we've got a decent squad. We should be winning stuff. That's where we're at now. So you've assembled that. You have to, I know people don't hear it, but you have to big up Edu. If you're going to get onto during Edu and Arteta's time together, all the bad that's happened at Arsenal, you can't just say it's Edu and all the good is just Arteta. It's either you both have to take L's and you share the W's. But yeah, together with Edu and Berta at this moment in time, there's a good squad, good ages, contracts are getting done. We're moving like a competent big club, like we should have done in an ideal world since the moment we signed for this, joined this new stadium, innit? Are you the man before the man? Is there a next man that has to come in and say, you know what, Wenger's done his thing, Arteta's done his thing, I can get us over the line? And until you get over the line, I can't 100% back you, Arteta. And 90% back you. But that 10% is stronger than the 90 because I love my football club. And I do believe we need to win stuff now. And you are at that stage now where he even come out last week, you know, he was speaking about it. He needs to earn a contract. You know, the Athletic came out with an article and says Arteta doesn't really believe he'll be at any club for 10 plus years. He's been here 6 years, isn't it? He's been here 6. There's 4 more. I think his contract's got 18 months. Probably negotiations are going on at some point in the back burners. He's got to be the top earner in the Premier League or one of the top earners as a manager, right? So we're at that important stage. I think it's not that silverware is irrelevant. I just think they'll look and say, oh, who are we going to get? Bearing in mind, you gave Arteta the job when beyond just working with Pep, he didn't have no CV. So they're out there, in it. You could get better, you could get worse. I think they're cool. We're competitive. We're finishing second as a minimum. As long as there's some context and we don't rub out in the league and you're losing 7-0 if you go out in the Champions League. I personally don't think the Cronkies are pulling that trigger. I don't. I think the only real pressure on the obvious is what the players and Arteta put on themselves and that we need to get over the line. That being said, though, maybe Josh is sat there and said, you know what? I've kind of ran the club now, taking more of a hands-on approach. I've stuck my neck on the line for you when I'm talking with my dad. You've done well. But they do speak about language, about trophies. You know, in the last 3 years, 4 including now, it's not diplomatic with Cronkies, with Josh Kroenke, apologies, with Mikel Arteta, with the players. They straight up say, yo, it's a silverware thing. And for whatever reason, we've not gone over the line. It's time to do that. If you win both of those, it's a stronger footing. I just think you need to win the Prem or the Champs. Biggest competitions available. Shuts up a lot of people, at least for a year. Makes us happy as well. Defeats ourselves. Like, come on, man. Like, these players, they're confident. But when you're trying to achieve anything in life, there's going to be doubters. There's going to be that voice in the back of your head. Like, appreciate you lot. We've got to 70,000 because of you lot on YouTube. We've been on Talks, we've been on ITV. There's still doubt. There's still bare doubt in my mind about stuff. But you need to sometimes just shut up and go to war with that, if that makes sense. So that's what we need to do, man. We know what we need to do. By hook or by crook, silverware needs to land. But to answer your question, I'm being mad long-winded. I don't think they're going to sack him. I think until we get to where we need to get to, I think every option should be on the table. And I don't think it can be an emotional decision. I don't think you can hide behind keep Mikel Arteta because there's no one else you can get. At some point, if you're doing the same things, you have to do something else. I don't think sacking him necessarily guarantees we're going to get mad better. We could get worse. And I'm not even saying that as a reason not to sack Donny. Like, if you're going to get a new manager, you need to commit to that. Like, you need to commit to that. And whoever that new manager is, you would have to give them that luxury of, and I'm talking only to Arsenal fans, regardless of what you think about, this squad's great. Someone comes in, gets the attack on tune, somehow look after the injuries, obviously adding a bit of quality where lit. You would have to give that new manager the luxury of, it's not all the other stuff that every new manager gets. It's not his team. He needs his own players. He needs time. I'm just going to throw random things out there. What if, God forbid, but if Arteta got sacked today, what if the new manager wants to play 3 at the back? I'm exaggerating, but what if he says, I don't want to use Bukayo Saka, I want another right winger? What if he says, no, Magalhaes and Saliba are not as good as we make out? What if he says, you know what, Rice, you're going back to the 6, whether you like it or not? These are things that are going to have to be at play. So until we get over the line, I'm on anything. I'm on everything. I don't think you can fully say sack Donny. I don't think you can fully say he's the guy, he walks on water. I understand it. For Arsenal fans around my age, 30 and a bit older, I understand it. We've, the Emirates era hasn't been nice. So now we're clinging on to a bit of competitiveness and some nice days out. I understand being reluctant to change. I also understand, I genuinely think they're a bit of younger fans. This is the best Arsenal have been in their whole life. This is the best Arsenal have been. This is the best they've been. This is the closest thing they've had to Arsene Wenger and whatnot. This is the most competitive. So I understand that. I do think there's some people more committed to hating the gaffer or loving the gaffer than the club. No one is bigger than the club. Arsenal is going to be here longer than me, you, and everyone else. And it was here. Make of that what you will. Great way to start the stream, man. Great way to start the stream. Don't forget, people, 450 AFCON watch-along settings, man. Arsenal will only be successful when Odegaard will be sold and Arteta stops deploying cowardly, scared tactics. Fair enough. Okay. I honestly think if we draw blanks again and Luis Enrique, for example, becomes available, Arteta's gone. I'm not going to lie, big up Arteta, but that's my thing, because I must admit, I'm quite balanced, I'm quite a patient guy and all these things, and it is a bit irrational. But my thing is, unless you can go find the next, Pep when he was in Barcelona B, and an Arteta that can be a winner when he's working with Pep and all of those things. If you're not bringing that, if you can't rise that up, I'm on just getting over the line. It's easier said than done. And I mean, the only thing that would tip Luis Enrique is the law of the Premier League, what we are as a big club, the London aspect and the money, because there's no reason for you to leave PSG. They're finally moving like a football club, not some NBA All-Stars thing. I'm on that because there's certain things, beyond the obvious. We know Luis Enrique and Pep are up here, yeah? Just looking at Arteta, I think there's certain things, and I'm just a novice. I ain't never been a manager. I think there's some things you could learn from them because I think they're more experienced than you, innit? Luis Enrique and Pep know how to manage egos. I look at Luis Enrique. He's found I love the way they played last season. They found a way to be balanced and be systemic and do all of that. But he still provided freedom within a framework. The midfield three, the six at times is one of the furthest forward. Wingers are swapping. He's doing his false nine thing. And he has I know he's using him, but he had Ramos as a striker at number 9. I look at Pep Guardiola. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, his thing is false 9. At some point, Haaland's become available. He's found a way to keep his core principles and make it work. Obviously, Gyökeres is not Haaland and the Luis Enrique examples, but you get these intangibles. It's Arsenal FC, it's not Arteta FC. And my thing is, I don't want you to just be here. Yeah, we're having great days out. We give you your praise and we speak about the cons. Ultimately, we fall up short. You do what needs to be done. And then you're like, actually, I'm going somewhere else because he's not going to be the manager forever. We're not going to see... Well, you will see long-term managers, but the Wengers, the Alex Fergusons, them things, they are gone. The closest you probably get to that of recent memory, if you're not going to say Pep Guardiola because he's still active, is probably Jurgen Klopp. So there is a reality. As I said, there's been 6 years of Arteta. The Athletic article said 10 years, he doesn't really see it. So there's a reality where you win a bunch of stuff and cut. That's what Fergie did. Fergie wanted to retire and leave bare times, but when he wanted to leave, yeah, lads, it's been good. I'm cutting out. Or you do the Wenger thing where, unfortunately, for whatever reason, you stay past your... And again, it kills me to say this about my white granddad, it is. But you stay past your sell-by date and a hero becomes a villain. And even with Wenger, complete side note, sometimes life is poetic. Sometimes poetry is sad. And what I mean by that is Wenger's thing, away from his philosophy, all those kind of stuff, yeah, all the things we can praise him for, because Wenger's larger than... Wenger is a football legend, not just an Arsenal legend. There's very few managers that can talk to him at that. The legacy, there's none of these foreign managers without him. All of that sports science, resting players, scouting, going against the conventional norms at the time, that was Wenger's bag. But that was early Wenger. What led to his demise at the end, people, was ultimately the same things that you were good at. You were reluctant. You weren't really on dealing with the landscape change. You have to be able to deal with these madman agents and stuff like that. All the stuff that the mod that was coming into the modern day game, Wenger wouldn't do. So he lived and died by... Well, he didn't live and die by the same sword, but the very thing that got him ahead led to his demise, if you get it, in it. So, yeah. And I also think no Champions League for Wenger, no Champions League. We have failed our club in Europe. He should have won a Champions League. That don't make him any more or less of a legend. Like, what does that mean? I hear it, but what does that mean? That's one slate on his name. Everyone's got that. Fergie's won the Champions League, but when you look at Fergie's thing, and again, fuck Man United, but I'm a big fan of Alex Ferguson. He should have won more European trophies. Somebody's always got something to their name. That doesn't take away anything from Arsene Wenger. There's none of these Jose's, Klopps, any of these foreign managers cannot come. None of them are coming here without Wenger. Wenger came here and was the first one to chuck it to to Man United, and forget all of that. Footballing philosophy, scouting, believing in players. People can laugh, but you look at the Iwobis, the Girouds, the Koscielnys, players that people wouldn't have looked at twice, busting them and giving them a platform. You know, football mirror society. What Wenger used to do, he used to go against people never rated African players and things of that ilk. You know, you look at Wenger's life, yeah, he grew up in a pub. You obviously see men and women at their worst. When you go and look at like if you was working in a pub in it, you see men and women at their worst. Football mirror society. Why do you think Wenger is so big on belief? Believing in certain men before, like when they're here, believing in Henry when his confidence has been shattered, etc., etc. No one can talk to me about Wenger. No one can talk to me about Wenger. Like Jurgen La Masia away from Cruyff, there wasn't. It's documented. There were certain things around that youth development. Go and look at any academy, and I guarantee you, at some point in that whatever philosophy they're doing, Wenger is cited. Wenger is a footballing legend, let alone Arsenal footballing legend. So if we cut the crap and stop doing all this, oh, he didn't win silverware and whatnot, dead. Bielsa. Do you know how much man rate Bielsa, Pep Guardiola, all of these guys? What did he win? So we're being silly, man. So yeah, man. In terms of a winner, clearly Wenger is not the best winning coach. Clearly not. Clearly not. Wenger's problem is you couldn't detach yourself from Arsenal. And we got into that weird space where you're a footballing man. People are fighting for ownership of the football club. Everyone's got their vested interests. Wenger loved ball too much. That's something that Fergie had over him. Ferguson knew, I want to spend time with my wife. I've got horses. I've got wine. Wenger lived for ball too much. And he got too attached to Arsenal. And you look, clearly I've been fighting Wenger's case, but this is one thing that used to annoy me when he's out here. I could have went to this club. I could have done this. I could have done that. Wenger, I love you to bits. You're my white granddad. But you know, if you went over there and did certain things that you was doing in the latter stages of your career, you're gone. So yeah, man, away from that. Man. Nah, I heard Mikel is better than Luis. You never heard that, man. What? I can't lie, Warren. You're moving, man. You've been trolling for a minute, and even in the last stream, shout out, man. Fucking hell, lad. Okay, you've been waffling for time. You know what, Warren? You're a mod, you know. So if you're gonna waffle, make sure people are hitting the like button. Birmingham people are crazy, man. Facts, man. Need him to win a major with the squad. So much work has been put in. A 3 points business. Yeah, it's 3 points. It is. It is 3 points business because at the end of the day, yeah, in May, it just matters win, losses, drawn. We can go back in time and say, oh yeah, we beat Wolves, but we was dead. Or we lost this game, but we was good. We all know that's how football works. Sometimes you draw when you deserve a bit more or less from the game. You lose playing bad, you lose playing well, you win playing bad. Occasionally you get what you deserve, essentially, people. We know how this football thing goes, man. Something in the water, man. Where should we rotate against Palace or best 11? But I hear you, but what rotation? Like, unless there's some mystery, like football manager, you've got the editor and you can clear off all the injuries. I wish we sat here and there's a fit Jesus, Havertz, Mascara, Ben White, etc. Oh, Lewis Kelly's coming in for Calafiori. What we doing at centre half? I wish we had this, but we ain't. Like, what can we? Obviously, we can be a bit cute and clever. I reckon Gabriel Jesus starts. Personally, I reckon he starts. Defensively, your hands are tied, didn't it? Cool, you bring Miles Lewis Skelly in. Does he even go Calafiori and Miles Lewis Skelly, or does Hincapié keep his thing? Because Hincapié, who's had a groin injury at the start of the season, Hincapié and Gyökeres, you lot could probably play, but I'm just wary that you two at the moment are central figures or going to be. You've played on Saturday, quick turnaround to Tuesday. Are you now going to play or start against you probably will play some part, but you're going to play against Palace and then obviously play against Brighton? I'm not too sure. Like, our hands are kind of tied. Like, what rotation? Me, I'm not going to lie. Big up Kepa. I'm starting Raya. I'm on taking this very seriously. Like, very seriously. Like, it's a cup. You're playing your London derby. Obviously, there's another London derby if you get past Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are not little men. They're a wounded animal. We all saw on the weekend they got dealt with. Obviously, we beat them the last time they came to the Emirates. They've probably got that taste of blood for silverware because, you know, Glasgow won them the FA Cup. It feels like football's developed so far. Won them the FA Cup. Then they won the Community Shield. This is dead. You're not that far from a final. Why wouldn't you want to do that? So I want to take it very seriously. But in terms of rotation, I'm on starting Raya. I think Kepa starts. You know, model professional. Ain't heard him make no noises, but I would prefer Raya. But I think Raya, you got to go Timber in it. Like, what can you do? Like, Timber's got to play right back. I'd say Kepa, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Timber. I'm not on the big up Norgard. There's times for that, but I'm not on it against Crystal Palace. So Hincapie and Saliba, you're going out there. You're going out there. Midfield is where it gets interesting. Rice, you're going out there because I can't lie to you. I know he needs rest. Rice, you're going out there. For me, if it was up to me, Declan Rice. I'm torn between giving opportunities to players that have been on the peripheral, needing to rest players, also being competitive, all those kind of things. I'm torn, man. This is why midfield's difficult. Part of me thinks he'll go Zubamendi and Rice. Part of me actually thinks get prepared for Zubamendi and Marino. You know what? Declan Rice, Norgard. Declan Rice, Norgard. Wanyeri, I need you to get football, man. But Eze in the 10. Gabriel off the left. Gyökeres through the middle. Madueke off the right. Wanyeri, Saka, stay warm. You will play. But yeah, man, we can't really do anything, man. So yeah, man. Wenger's a G, bro. Man can't invincible as well. Like no one can pop. If you're a real footballing man or woman, you can have banter and do all of that. But if we're cutting the crap and you're talking football, nobody can ever pop down Arsene Wenger's thing. That man is a footballing legend. Footballing legend. Notice I haven't said Arsenal. We know he's Arsenal legend. Footballing legend. I need to meet him one day. I can't lie. That's the only person I'll Henry as well. I'll fanboy Wenger still. I don't know how to act. I don't know how to act, man. The first thing I'm doing is getting a picture. Hey, Wenger, man, I know you're a busy man, but like, can we just pause? Can we just spend an hour talking about football, man? What's the finest wine you like? In fact, now, Wenger, your chest is high. You're rich. I can't afford that. But we'll get something. We'll get Ray and we'll talk about ball, man. I'd love to speak about football with Sir Alex Ferguson, with Jose Mourinho, with Wenger. There's certain other thing with Sir Alex Ferguson. I would love to ask him about doubt and leadership because obviously he did his thing in Scotland, but he went through that and leadership. With Jose, I'd love to ask him about self-belief because people don't understand why he's apparently arrogant. And you look at his career. With Wenger, I'd also ask about belief, but more transferring belief into other people because I think that's one of his best traits. I think that's one of the most beautiful things you can do in life. And that's why I always big up you lot, actually. Big up you lot listening and supporting the platform because you actually believe in what we're doing here. Like, you get it? So big up you lot. People deluded. We're back again. The coldest fullback and gunner on the net. Appreciate you, DG. How are we, my bro? I'm late to the party. Lateness is greatness, man. I'm good, King, man. Hope you're doing well and safe. DG, let's talk about the elephant in the room. What elephants is there in the room? The expectation of 2023-24 W run not going to happen. Not in the same style. Max goals is just not a strategy at all. Max control, just not enough goals. I hear that, but then what is the elephant in the room? We all know no two seasons are alike. We've sometimes, I'm sure, even in the last 3 years, there might have been a year we finished second in all of them, but we might have finished second with more points in one year that would have won it in the next year. I don't know, people. Like, what you got to be a bit more specific, my boy. What's the elephant? And Nelka as well. That paid off Haaland as well. Even Haaland signing was to win Champions League. Probably Arteta needs to step that up. Either win one big trophy. Current Champions League holders are managers who have won it elsewhere. PSG brought in Enrique just for the chance because their league is guaranteed. I hear it, man. Wenger changed the culture. They'll all tell you that's why Fergie has to respect him. Fergie has to respect Wenger, and Wenger has to respect him. I wonder about them. Like, I feel the same way with them too about Messi and Ronaldo, you know, because obviously they've been, or any sports people, there's bear in tennis. I wonder how they actually view each other and how they talk. They have to admire each other. I wouldn't say it's the same, but Klopp and Pep to a slight degree. Jurgen Klopp's thing different as well. Big up Klopp. Arsene Wenger or any other manager would have never made Odegaard captain. Wenger would have never signed a player like him. Why is he captain? He's been awful. I can't lie, you're capping. You are capping. Wenger wouldn't have signed Odegaard if it weren't available. The way he plays, soft, creative player in this Emirates era. That was cash money. You're capping a bit in that. As for the captaincy, I don't think he'd give him the captaincy. But then at the same time, I've just got to be honest. Let's be honest. In the Emirates era, we was doing foolishness with the captaincy. Any player that looked like they're leaving, you become the captain. And in terms of captaincies, that's not the worst person I've seen being given a captaincy. Arteta didn't do it. It's actually Wenger. Are we forgetting William Gallas? And you lot know me on this platform. I didn't want to start, but are we forgetting him? I don't know what's worse, him having the captain's armband, his behavior, or the fact that he wore Dennis Bergkamp's number 10. I love Wenger. but you were smoking some serious stuff at times at the Emirates. Serious stuff. Man, fuck Gallas, man. Don't start. Let me not start. Let me not. I'm gonna. Yeah, please. Gallas. Because I can take shit ballers. I can take mistakes. I can take shit ballers. If I ever, and I don't know you from nowhere, if I ever have to question your integrity wearing my shirt, I hate you. Because it's a privilege to wear this team's football shirt. It's a privilege to be a footballer. There's fans supporting all over the world and traveling up and down. Your football career is short and you want to spend it being a pussy or Birmingham away when you're the captain. And at the time, probably one of the most, if not the most experienced player with a winning pedigree. Fuck off, man. Fuck off, man. What's the difference between Kane, Haaland, and Gyökeres on how they play? Well, obviously, you're asking how they play, not their ability. We know that. Kane's a better footballer than Gyökeres and Haaland. And that's no slight on Haaland. There's better strikers that are better footballers than Haaland. We know what Haaland brings to the table. And the things they might have more skills or more weapons in their arsenal. And Gyökeres, Haaland on paper might have less, but the things he's got, they're of a higher level. So Kane's a better footballer. Kane's misprofiled, in my opinion. Misprofile might not be the right word, or I definitely think in this country, because obviously Harry Kane, great striker, lives, breathes, eats, shits, goals in it. But I've always felt like he's not Alan Shearer, but they've kind of had him down as one of them kind of forwards. And in a way, he is. He scores goals, but he loves to. Sometimes you wish Kane would just stay up front, quote unquote. He drops deep. He does all of that stuff. His technical levels higher, just a better footballer, just a better footballer and easier to flow in the system, really. Gyökeres and Haaland is more of kind of what I want to see Arteta do. Play to the guy's strengths, meet him halfway because he's met you halfway, and just keep it moving like that, man. Wow, DG wearing black and white. Big up Foxy. As a Newcastle fan, I knew you would have missed that. Wearing the Juventus shirt, man. Give Trossard and Gyökeres more games to get that connection. Oh, if Trossard's fit, Trossard starts for me. Trossard starts. Saka and Odegaard seem to not trust Gyökeres because they play with Kane and Haaland. Fair point. Trossard, Gyökeres, Ranieri front three would be lit. Big up the girl Gaffer. Ask yourself, have you liked the video and subscribed? If you haven't, tell them again, man. I want to see, listen, I want to, a part of it, listen, Ranieri, I want to see him get games. There's so many things I want to see, but then I also have to remember, bro, I'm trying to win that game tomorrow. And I'm not saying these guys can't, but then what are we doing here? Rotate the front three, only keep the midfield Rice, Zubi, Eze, and defense the same. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit shook for Zubi. You look a bit spent. And again, I'm no medical guy and all of those things, yeah, but we've seen a cluster of our attack. If we break the team down into 3 sub-teams, so defense, midfield, and attack, right? Attack, we've seen a cluster. We've seen that episode where they were all injured. Defense, we're currently in that, and we've seen that. Law of averages, I don't even know how to work out law of averages, but it just sounds like the right thing to say. Am I wrong for suggesting it might be midfield? God forbid anything happens to Rice. We still got to fight. I don't want to feel sorry for ourselves. But again, this is a safe space. I appreciate the platform we've built. For me, as a fan, if Rice gets injured and he's out for a significant period of time, forget it. Put my League Cup and FA Cup in the bag. You could probably sneak that one. Premier Champs, you can't do it without Declan. You can't. Zubamendi played a lot of games, looks a bit spent. Them midfielders is where I'm looking at. Slightly even Eze. I don't think Eze is near the red zone or anything like that, but he's had a lot of minutes in the legs. And obviously, when you have a small pool of players to pick from, you're running the other players into the ground, like Ben White, rightly or wrongly. Everybody saw that one. Wenger inspired all these guys, but wasn't ruthless enough, which was his undoing. Pure footballing, man. He was fighting FFP internally when he had access to potentially more funds. That's what I mean. He weren't pre-in the game. Wenger's thing where you weren't trying to adapt to the game. You were doing the grumpy, back in my day, what's all of this? This is woke nonsense. You have to adapt, bro. You have to adapt. You have to. Arteta and players as a collective have to take responsibility 1,000,000%. But the nature of the game is you got to look at the manager, innit? Unfortunately. And it's how the modern game is eat or be killed as a manager, but he left with dignity, if we remember properly. It's just, I'd say the one thing with me and Wenger is obviously when it was time to cut, his ending kind of coincided with social media and all of that kind of stuff. And I do think, there's many ways to go about it, but I do think many people that were doing not Wenger out, you're allowed to say Wenger out, but taking it too far, they will look back at themselves and think, yeah, you know what, that weren't the best way to go about things. Because even me, if it was up to me, there's a couple of times I think Wenger should have cut. Maybe 3-4 times, actually, if I'm honest with you. Probably should have cut. And this is probably the last opportunity, if this makes sense, people. When we beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, you should have cut. I personally think 2014, when we remember we had that little drought and we won the FA Cup, and I was at the game when we beat Hull and whatnot. I think you should have cut then. I personally think, and you know what, it probably wouldn't have worked, especially with Pep Guardiola. But I do maintain there was a time I actually think this club could have got Jurgen Klopp, or we could have got Pep Guardiola, like them 011 to 14, 15, 16, them kind of, just obviously before Klopp went Liverpool, that kind of period. In hindsight, it wouldn't have banged with Pep Guardiola because, again, he's like an elite Michelin star chef. You bring him the expensive goods, he'll cook a lovely meal. Saying that, though, people need to remember he bust bare academy players. Jurgen Klopp would have been the thing for us. You saw what he did at Liverpool. Not saying he didn't spend money, but you saw what he did when he didn't. We all know about his thing at Borussia Dortmund. That is something, and that's what I mean. You loved the club too much, and you loved football too much, and you couldn't. And obviously, it's an element of selfishness. You could not step away, and we never had the structure we have now. Like this club went into the abyss for a sec because David Dean cut. He was the glue in it, and Wenger is a genius. But the thing is, with being a genius, you're insane. All geniuses are insane. David Dean would pull him back when he's going too mad with it, and then Grandad just went too mad, didn't it? He just went too mad. Gazidez is doing fuck all. Cronkies are not really trying to commit because they're fighting what's that Russian guy, Usmanov? They're fighting for control. It's a mess. It was a mess. So, yeah, man. If you go up the chat, you see I said people take their likes. All right, Warren. Hey, Warren, you're allowed to troll, yeah. I don't take it to heart, but just dumb it down a bit. Like the last couple of streams, you're rattling too many people. Wenger was a good boy. Sometimes you've got to break the rules. I don't think Donny, let's keep it 100, bro. He didn't want to break the rules because he knew I'm the only footballing man here. They know it's like being good at your job at work and taking the piss. You know they're not going to sack you. Some of you are probably listening to my stream when you're not supposed to. It was that thing. Let's be real. And I do think there was too many chefs in the kitchen. I don't think he wanted Lucas Perez. I actually don't think he wanted Lacazette. I genuinely don't think he wanted Lacazette. Because before we signed Lacazette, every minute we're getting him, and then we pulled out. And I know I'm taking it out of context because it's not as white and black as this. But with what I've said about Lacazette, because I've maintained this, I'm sure there's even videos of me talking about this on YouTube, yeah? And I'm taking it out of context. But 6 months from us signing Lacazette, what did we do in the next transfer window? Nah, he shouldn't have left in 06. That's the last time, you know what, for a period from 06 to probably when we won the FA Cup in 2014, probably not, though. When that the final ball was kicked in Paris, I think we stopped being a football club for a minute still. So, yeah, man. DG, who takes the jam out of your donut? What the fuck? Exactly. We're trying to win the league. As unfortunate as it is for Ethan, he's going to be holding bench. But then again, if we are trying to win the league, it's perfect for Ethan. Tomorrow, I wish I could play 12 players, innit? I would play Eze. I would play Eze in midfield, but I would love for Wanyeri to play. I'd love to see Norgard, Rice, Wanyeri, fuck it, Gabriel Jesus off the left, Gyökeres through the middle. But there's a reality. Marino probably goes up front. Who knows? You might even see Eze left wing, Jesus starts, Odegaard might start, or you're hoping Wanyeri. Be nice. I'll be so real. Wenger era was a bit before my time. I only got to see the sour ending, but bro, I remember watching a documentary about Wenger, the Invincible season. That man changed the game. Exactly. Are there any notable tabs, DG? There should be. So yeah, man. The one that kills me is when Kenny says je ne sais quoi. Big up. Kenny is a legend, and DJ B is an absolute legend, man. Such an articulate man, Kenny. I want to win this game, so I don't want to see Norgard. I'm playing Norgard because, bro, we're gonna get ourselves in a spot of bother if anything happens to our midfielders. And I have mad thoughts in midfield that I don't really want to see people. A part of me, you're gonna have to see Marino for an extended period in that midfield. You might have to, when Kai's fit, if Kai's fit, you might have to see Kai get a little running. And that's actually where I wish Wenger could call Arteta, because if these things happen, I know we'd have to box smart. There isn't one size fits all. Like, we know we're going to see Rice and Zubimendi 9 times out of 10 when fit and permits, innit? But I would love for Wenger to call Arteta and say, listen, like, if Rice or Zubimendi get injured, slap one of them in the 6 Eze, Odegaard rotating 8. Let's keep it moving. So yeah, man. I'd love Boardi, man. I'd love Boardi, but and make Arsenal French again. Saliba, talk to your boys. That's a summer thing, surely, man. Probably should have left after 011. Yeah, yeah. Arteta needs to bag a Prem or Champions League double, shut everyone up. Shut everyone up, but also shut Arsenal fans up. And wait, I would say, prove to yourselves that you lot can do it. Shut us up. Well, not even us, that Arsenal fans. And at least for a year, just shut up the external noise, man. Like, there's just so much of was concerning my football club. Some of it is, I'm not even talking about fair criticism. I want all fair criticism. We advocate for that on this platform. That's exactly what we want. Agendas, I'm not here for, though, man. But yeah, nonetheless, big up Gyökeres, who presented his captain. Well, at the end of the game, Captain Bukayo Saka with the man of the match at Everton away. We are still top of the league, albeit by 2 points. This is AI YouTuber speaking. I don't look at the league table, people. What else have we got? Spurs fans, you lot used to gas this Romero guy. Romero, he's a good centre half. Don't get me wrong. Best centre half in the league, better than Saliba and Gabriel, up there with Van Dijk, bro. Chatting mad nonsense. How is a man rated for just kicking people? Unreal head loss, got sent off, lost his head, absolute pussy old daffodil, from that ball being put in the box, not strong enough to deny Hugo Ekitike. Probably the striker we should have bought. I'm here for that. But it's not about you, Romero. It's not about you. Let it all work out. Xavi Simons stinking up the gap. Most notable moment is actually getting sent off. How on God's green earth did Eze not actually play against Everton and still had a better game than you? This guy is shit, man. Never ever, you can't gaslight me and make me believe in little Bow Wow or little Romeo or Diggy Simmons or Jaden Smith I could go on. We could go on. We really could. So yeah, man, big up Liverpool for that. Get off the pitch, man. Get off my screen, man. Let me wipe that. Looking mad. Lowest XG conceded in the Prem. I only care about these things when Arsenal are top. We've got 12.50 in it, whatever that means. Bit cozy from Madueke and Odegaard there, isn't it? Even Hingapi is looking like fuck. It's all banter though, man. Our next 6 games, if it would load. Tomorrow, we've obviously got Crystal Palace at home. Then we've got Brighton on Saturday. Then we've got Aston Villa, where revenge needs to be on the menu. Bournemouth away. I'm not looking forward to that. Liverpool, revenge on the menu. They beat us at Anfield. Portsmouth to end the 6-game period. And to be honest, where does the rotation come from? Yeah, players can come back. Players could also get injured. On paper, Portsmouth away. You got to be careful, though. Bournemouth away, you're bugging. Villa, you're just going to have to muck through it, man. What has Mikel Arteta said about it in his press conference? Is there anything notable? Very happy with the result, with big parts of the performance against a team that's very difficult to beat. Really well organized. They can stretch you in the way they play. The game became chaotic. We didn't allow that to happen except for one sequence of 2 corners and 1 throw-in after we kicked the ball out of play. In the second half, we had 3 massive chances to score a second or the third. We didn't do it. You suffer at the end. We didn't because we haven't conceded anything. But overall, the margins maybe could have been bigger. On Gyökeres, very happy for him. They took ownership on the pitch between Martin and Bukayo and him to decide who was the taker. They made a great decision because Victor put the ball in the back of the net. Powerful shot at that as well. On Rice, unbelievable. His all-round play, his leadership on the pitch, the amount of balls that he regained as well, that's allowed us to run. He's been incredibly consistent this year again, and what a massive player for us he is, which is true, man. We don't care about the penalty. I don't think there's anything to talk about with Odegaard, but yeah, the main thing is we got the 3 points. We kept a clean sheet. And obviously, Gyökeres got a goal. At this point, we don't care how he gets it. Mikel Arteta did hint that Gyökeres might not even start, or better yet, there might be someone else who will start up front. On Gabriel Jesus, and there's no press conference today, apparently, from Mikel Arteta. Yes, he is. You can now see, not only on games, but every day in training, how much he wants it. He's going to deserve a chance soon. Okay, this is the first time I read them comments. People are gassing it. I think that's probably the biggest quality of Gabby, bringing people together, connecting with people, and generating a lot of uncertainty in the opponent. When you see him today, the amount of spaces that he was involved in, that's his biggest quality, so we need to exploit that. Should he play against Crystal Palace, that would be his 100th appearance in an Arsenal shirt. He joined in 2022, which tells you about the injuries and whatnot. Well, it's been a really intense journey, I would say. I think when he joined us, I think he lifted the belief, the spirit, and the energy of the club and the team. I think he gave something very different to what we already had, and it was really impressive. And he had some very bad injuries that allowed him to have didn't allow him to have the consistency that he needed from a very important player. But he's back. I think he's fighting spirit. He's decided to always prepare the best way. He's unbelievable, and the team has got it. We need to use it. Facts. Finally, let's see what Gyökeres said following our victory. Good, of course. It was a tough win away from home, but we took the 3 points and it was nice to score a goal. We spoke a little bit on the pitch. It was an easy talk when I took it. To be fair, a few months ago, I took one and it was nice to take one again and to score. I feel like you have scored 2 penalties for us, but who was the last one again? Was it Leeds? Obviously not the Everton one. We don't think about it too much. We just wait for the decision. Then you know it's a penalty and you just wait for the normal procedure. Nothing special, really. It was a tough game, but it would have been good if we scored a few more goals because then you can control it a bit more. When it's only 1-0, it can be stressful at times. In the end, of course, we would have liked to convert those chances we had, but we won in the end, so that's the most important thing. It's always a good feeling to win football matches and be top of the table, but it doesn't mean so much because it's a long way to go, a lot of games still to play, but we still have a lot of games around Christmas, so of course I'll enjoy it, but not too much. Fair enough. Rooney has said that Declan Rice could be future England captain. For me, he's probably the one waiting for Harry to hang up his boots at some point. He was all over the pitch against Everton. His decision-making, when to pass it, where to pass it, what foot to pass it, to his details on the pass. It was a pleasure to watch. He's absolutely incredible. Say what you want about his comments about Declan Rice, yeah, but what? Declan Rice 26, I'm 30, so we kind of grew up with Rooney. If I was there, imagine Wayne Rooney like talking about you like this. Whether you're gonna take it on board or not, well, you take it on board, but you don't get excited. Like bloody hell, like I'm living a movie, aren't I? And even Rooney, the way he's talking about the detail of the part, only certain men understand football. Rooney, you're one ex-Man United man. I want to do well as a coach because you're actually using common sense. You're not moving like Gary Neville and all them wallads. They're always wassing. It's coming like ex-Man United players, London-based Man United fans, and Warren, who's in Birmingham, but it's like that. You lot all smoke something crazy, but nonetheless, he was splitting centre backs, taking the ball off Arsenal centre backs, acting as a third centre back. The next minute, he's in the box trying to score a goal. Sometimes some of the stuff he does is a bit underrated. He's the right one to take over from Kane for me because of his drive, his personality, everything. Everyone seems to love him. Who knows him? Who's close to him? He's irreplaceable for England. So you see what I mean? Anything happens to Declan Rice, we are in big trouble this season. But let's hope that's not the case, people. Let's hope that's not the case, man. DG of 30, bro. Real talk. You genuinely look 23 to 25. I'll take that. Black dog, cat, baby face killer, man. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing I can do, man. 1995, man. Man United as a franchise has just hit rock bottom. Can't even rebrand themselves so they can focus on everyone now. Ferguson put real voodoo on them, man. But Nev, Keane, Carragher, all good pundits, have good chemistry. I think Roy Keane's a good pundit. Carragher, when he's not emotionally invested or in the initial days, I used to like Gary, not this present day Gary Neville. You're too agenda filled, man. I genuinely think you just go on Twitter and you just whatever's the trending things you tweet like you have football opinions of what I expect to see, hyper engagement, rage baiting, algorithm whores that people do on YouTube. Rooney also said that he was going to be a top manager. Did he? Yeah, he done it against Leeds. Jesus a good player, just not prolific. Then you can't rely on them, man, too much. So until you win something, the banter will run. It has to. Lord, help you tomorrow. We don't need that. This guy. You said pretty much, but there's loads of fans like a guy on AFTV lot that want him to stay. Owners see that. Bro, they can have their own thoughts. One thing I've hated about Arsenal, yeah, is bearing in mind, like most clubs, this is a club followed by millions around the world, thousands in this country, up and down the country every week. One man says something, or one girl says something, or one person said something, whether they're shitting on the whole club, so they seem like they're the real ones and they're twerking for rivals validation, or they act like everything's great because they're twerking for a gig at Arsenal. These people that have vested agendas, they will say one thing and all of us have to co-sign it. That's silly. I don't want to make it political, but I'm sure some of you vote Conservative, vote Labour, and some of you vote for the same things. Do you all vote for it? Do you all agree with every decision, even with a fellow Labour voter or a fellow Conservative? No, they should be voting Conservatives, but you get the point. Crazy. Unfortunately, though, people, we've got 5 minutes until AFCON kicks off. We've actually, see, I love you lot too much, just been waffling. I'm going to go live again in a second, people, because, yeah, we're going to watch AFCON. We're watching South Africa. So, yeah, man, join me in it. We're going to go live immediately, people. So, yeah, it's been great to talk. Time's flown. You lot always amazing. Last question will say, DG, would you rather we go for Semenyo or Rodgers? I'm the worst person to ask this, because I know it should be Semenyo because we need a left winger, but Rodgers can play out there. Bring Rodgers, bro. Bring Rodgers. Love. Don't know what year this is from. I've had it for time. Just put it on, man. Just had to shout and put on a shirt. So yeah, man, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm the wrong person to ask because I like Morgan Rogers too much. I wanted that man at Arsenal when he was at West Brom. So yeah, man, people, it's time to go watch AFCON. But time was, I blame you lot because you lot are just so good. Like, we've got a great platform. You ask great questions. You rebuttal great points. We've got the fine balance of banter and talking points. It's you lot's fault, man. We're just waffling in it. But yeah, man, we're gonna go watch AFCON. Obviously, tomorrow we're watching Arsenal against Crystal Palace. If you ain't smashed the like button, what are you doing? See you lot in just a sec. Always